energy here, a feeling that has been sitting just below the surface for quite some time. Before we even get into the cards, I want to talk about this message for a moment. I am not happy here, is what they want to say, and I feel like that alone is a lot. That is a person admitting to themselves and to you that something in their life is not working. That is not easy to say out loud, and I feel like it has taken them a while to get here. The second part of this message, the part I feel is even more vulnerable, goes even deeper. You do something to me that no one else can match. And wow, that is a powerful thing to say. That is a person who has been out there, who has been trying, and who keeps landing on the same truth. Whatever you give them, whatever exists between you two, it is not something they have found anywhere else. I want to sit with that because that kind of admission does not come from a small place. Now let's see what the cards are confirming because there is a lot here already. Here is the first card, and I am getting the Four of Cups for this opening energy. The Four of Cups is a card of dissatisfaction, of sitting inside something that feels stagnant and unfulfilling. I feel like this card is speaking directly to that admission, and it is fully confirming it. This is a person sitting in stillness, surrounded by what looks like enough, but not feeling it at all. There is a cup being offered to them in this card, a new possibility extending toward them. They are not reaching for it. They are looking away, and I feel like we all know why. Because whatever is being offered wherever they are right now, it does not feel like you. It does not carry the same warmth, the same pull, and they feel that absence every single day. The Four of Cups here is showing a person who has emotionally checked out of where they are. They are physically present somewhere, going through the motions, and their heart, I feel like, is elsewhere. That somewhere else, I feel like, has your name on it, and we are not even deep into this yet. Here is the next card, and I am seeing the Two of Cups come through for this connection. The Two of Cups is one of those cards that I feel like just says it all. This is a card of soul connection, of two people with a magnetic, undeniable pull between them. This card showing up here is confirming that what you two share is not something ordinary or replaceable. It is saying that the connection between you is real, it is deep, and it goes beyond surface level. This person feels that deeply, and I feel like it is the whole reason this message exists. You do something to me that no one else can match, is not something you say lightly. That is what you say when you have tried to fill a space and nothing fits the way it should. This person has done that, I feel like, and they landed on you and they cannot shake it. The Two of Cups is saying this is mutual on some level, and I feel like you know that there is something between you two that neither side has fully released, and the cards are showing that clearly. Here is the next card, and I am pulling in the Seven of Cups for this reading. The Seven of Cups is about illusions, about choices that look appealing on the surface but do not hold. I feel like this card is showing us what this person has been experiencing out there away from you. They have been presented with options, with possibilities, and each one looked like it might be the answer. Each one carried a promise, a glimmer, and each time it faded the moment things got real. None of those possibilities carried what you carry, and they kept discovering that the hard way. That is the Seven of Cups. And I feel like this person has genuinely lived this card out in real life. That is what has brought them back to this message today. And that is what the cards are confirming. Here is the Star. And I feel like this card is the anchor of everything we are seeing here. The Star shows up when there is still hope, still longing, still a flame that has not gone out. This person, I feel like, has been carrying a quiet hope about you, and it has not gone anywhere. Even while trying to move on, even while choosing to be elsewhere, that hope for you stayed lit. The Star is also about clarity, about a moment when the truth becomes undeniable and unavoidable. I feel like this person is in that moment right now, and the clarity is pointing straight at you. Both parts of this message, I feel like, come from the same moment of undeniable clarity. They are seeing themselves clearly, seeing you clearly, and beginning to understand what that means. The cards are setting up something significant, and I feel like what comes next is really telling. Let's continue and see what is on your side. Because this reading, I want to be very clear, is not just about what they are feeling. What you have been carrying is just as important, and the cards want to address that now. Here is the first card on your side, and I am getting the Five of Cups. The Five of Cups is a card of grief, of loss, of sitting with something that never resolved. I feel like you know this card in your body and you have been living inside its energy. There has been a quiet sadness here, an ache that you have been carrying longer than you admit. You loved this connection, you invested in it, and when things shifted, it did not just brush off. When something that real shifts, it leaves a mark, and you have been sitting with that mark. It stayed, it settled in, and I feel like it still catches you off guard sometimes. There have been moments where you put on a brave face and pretended it was fine. The Five of Cups shows 3 spilled cups, the loss, the grief, what did not go as planned. This card also has 2 cups still standing, and that is the part I want you to see. Because what you have not lost, what is still intact, is your capacity to feel and your heart. I feel like you feel things deeply, you love genuinely, and you do not give that away easily. That is important here, and the cards are acknowledging that, not skipping over it. Here is the next card, and I am seeing the Nine of Swords for your side. The Nine of Swords is about the overthinking, the late nights, the thoughts that will not stop. I feel like you know this one, because this connection has been living in your head for a while. There have been nights where you replayed things, went over conversations, over moments, over what was said. There have been times where you asked yourself if it was real, if you imagined how good it felt. The Nine of Swords is validating all of that, telling you, no, you did not imagine anything. What you felt was real. What you experienced was genuine. And this card is confirming that right now. I feel like that matters actually because you have been in your head about this for a while. You have been giving yourself a hard time about this, and the cards want you to stop that. Your feelings are valid, your instincts are right, and the Nine of Swords is saying trust yourself. Here is the next card, and I am pulling the Queen of Cups for you right now. The Queen of Cups is, I feel like, one of the most emotionally intelligent cards in the deck. This is a card of depth, of emotional wisdom, of feeling everything and processing it with grace. The Queen of Cups showing up here is the cards telling you exactly who you are in this. You felt deeply, you held space, and you showed up in a way that is not common. The way you love, I feel like, is something this person recognized, even if they never said it. I feel like you gave something in this connection that this person has not found anywhere else since. That is exactly what the message is confirming, and the Queen of Cups is showing us why. Your emotional depth, your intuition, the way you love, that is what makes you irreplaceable to this person. The Queen of Cups also holds a knowing. She does not question what she feels, she trusts it. The Queen of Cups is saying that you have that same knowing, that same clarity about this situation. There has been an internal certainty inside you, something that could not be argued away. You have always known somewhere deep inside that this is not something you simply walk away from. Here is the last card on your side, and I am getting the Ace of Swords for you. The Ace of Swords is a card of truth, of clarity cutting through, of things becoming undeniably clear. I feel like this card is showing up to confirm something you have been sensing for a while. The truth of this connection, the truth of what you feel, is not something you can logic away. The Ace of Swords is confirming what you already know and saying it is time to trust yourself. There is a clarity coming in for you, and I feel like part of you is already there. I want you to sit with that, because that level of knowing is not something everyone has. You are not the confused one. You know exactly what you feel and exactly what you want. You know what you feel, you know what this is, and the Ace of Swords is stamping that. The cards on your side are showing a person who is emotionally rich, grounded, and deeply aware. You are not chasing something that does not exist. You are not holding onto a ghost. What you felt was real, what you built was real, and this person felt it too. You are not passive in this story. You are deeply feeling, deeply knowing, and deeply ready. The cards are honoring you here, and I feel like that matters before we go any deeper. Now let's move forward and see what is coming through. This part of the reading, I feel like, is where things get really layered and really honest. We are looking at their side now, their motives, their fears, the habits that have been running things, because I am not happy here does not come out of nowhere. And I feel like the cards are about to explain a lot. Here is the first card on their side, and I am getting the Devil for this energy. The Devil, I want to be clear, is not a scary card. It is actually one of the most honest cards in the deck. This card is about attachment, about chains, about staying inside something that no longer serves you. I feel like this card is showing us exactly why this person is still where they are, and it is not love. It is familiarity, it is comfort, it is the kind of attachment that feels easier to stay in than to leave. The Devil is showing a pattern here, a habit of choosing what is known over what is right, and they know it. They are not staying where they are because it feels good. They are staying because leaving feels too uncertain. When they say, I am not happy here, that is a person who has been staring at their own chains for a while. They have known for some time, I feel like, that where they are is not where they are supposed to be. The Devil also shows two figures who could remove their chains. The chains are loose. The door is open. They are not trapped by force. They are held by habit. And that is a very different kind of stuck. Here is the next card, and I am seeing the Eight of Swords for this person right now. The Eight of Swords is a card of mental entrapment, of a mind that has talked itself into a corner. This is a person who is blindfolded, surrounded by swords, but the swords are not actually touching them. They could move, they could take the blindfold off, but the story they are telling themselves keeps them still. I can't leave, it is too complicated, it is not the right time, and on that story goes inside them. There is a fear underneath all of this, and I feel like that fear is the real thing running the show. The fear of disruption, the fear of hurting people, the fear of choosing themselves, and something going wrong. The Eight of Swords is not saying they are weak. This card is saying they are tangled in their own thinking. Here's the next card, and I am pulling the Hermit for their energy. The Hermit is a card of deep solitude, of going inward, of walking a path entirely alone for a season. I feel like this card is showing us that this person has been doing a lot of processing on their own. The Hermit carries a lantern, and I feel like that lantern represents the truth they have been slowly walking toward. They have been in a quiet season of figuring things out, of understanding what they actually want from their life. I feel like the I am not happy here admission is the result of a long time spent with the Hermit energy. They did not arrive at that realization quickly. They walked there slowly, through a lot of quiet and a lot of honesty. The Hermit is also showing a person who has been isolating emotionally, keeping things inside, not letting people in. When you know what you want and you cannot have it yet, you tend to protect yourself by going quiet. I feel like that is exactly what this person has been doing, and the cards are confirming that now. Here is the last card on their side, and I am getting the Page of Cups. The Page of Cups is a card of emotional messages, of feelings that are new and rising to the surface. This is a card of vulnerability opening up, of a heart that has been closed starting to crack open a little. I feel like the Page of Cups here is showing us the trigger, the thing that has been activating this shift in them. Something has been stirring in them, something they cannot ignore, and I feel like a lot of it has to do with you. There is an emotional awakening happening for this person, a feeling that is bubbling up and demanding to be addressed. The Page of Cups holds a cup, and inside that cup I feel like is everything they have been trying not to say. This is a card of honesty starting to emerge, of emotional truth finding its way to the surface despite the resistance. The message today is not random, and the Page of Cups is showing us that this is not a casual moment for them. Something shifted, something cracked open, and what came out of it was this message, this admission, this truth. I feel like this person is at a turning point, not quite over the line, but standing right at the edge of it. The Devil held them, the Eight of Swords confused them, the Hermit quieted them, and the Page of Cups woke them up. That is the arc of where they have been, and I feel like now you have a much clearer picture of their side. Let's keep going and see what is here for you, because this part I feel like is where the energy starts to shift and actually move. We have seen where they have been, and now the cards are going to show us what they are about to do. Here is the first card, and I am getting the Knight of Cups for this movement energy. The Knight of Cups is one of my favorite cards to see when we are looking at what is coming next. This is the card of someone riding forward. Not with logic, not with strategy, but with pure heart. The Knight of Cups does not plan a speech. He does not calculate the risk. He just moves on feeling. I feel like this card is showing us that what is coming from this person is going to be emotionally driven. Whatever they do next, whatever move they make, it is going to come from the part of them that is done waiting. The feelings got loud enough, the truth got undeniable enough, and now something is starting to move. I feel like this person is preparing to reach out, preparing to say something, and the Knight of Cups confirms that the energy of this card is not hesitant. It is not half committed. It is someone riding towards something with intention. That something, I feel like, is you, and the cards are not being subtle about it at all. Here is the next card, and I am seeing the Chariot come through for this action energy. The Chariot is a card of willpower, of taking control, of making a decisive move after a long period of stillness. This card is showing a person who has been standing at the edge and who is now choosing to step forward. I feel like the Chariot here is showing us the how, the energy they are going to bring when they make their move. This is not going to be a passive, uncertain reach out. This is going to feel deliberate and real. The Chariot is driven by two forces, two opposing energies, and the rider holds them together with focused will. I feel like this person has been holding two opposing forces inside them, the fear and the longing, for a long time. The Chariot showing up is saying they are about to stop letting those two things cancel each other out. They are choosing direction. They are choosing movement. And I feel like the direction is toward you. When this energy kicks in, things shift, the old paralysis lifts, and something concrete starts to happen. Here is the next card, and I am pulling the Six of Cups for this reading. The Six of Cups is a card of return, of going back to something that holds meaning, of honoring what was real. I feel like this card is one of the most telling ones in this spread because of what it represents here. The Six of Cups is showing that what this person is moving toward is not something new. It is something they already know. They are not reaching for the unknown. They are reaching back towards something that already meant something to them. I feel like the "you do something to me no one else can match" lives in this card completely. This is a person who is returning, who is allowing themselves to go back to the feeling they know is real. The Six of Cups often shows up when nostalgia becomes action, when memory becomes motive, and that is exactly what is happening. Something reminded them, something brought it all back, and now the pull toward you is impossible to sit on anymore. I feel like this card is also showing a softness in them, a vulnerability that they do not show very often. Coming back takes courage, especially when you left, especially when pride has been involved, and they are finding that courage. Here is the last card in this movement, and I am getting the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups is one of the most beautiful cards to see in a reading like this, and it landed right here. This is a card of new emotional beginning, of a heart opening up, of something being offered fresh and full. I feel like the Ace of Cups is showing us what happens when they finally make their move, what gets offered. This is not a repeat of the past. This is a new version of this connection, and the card is showing that clearly they are not coming back with the same energy they had before. They are coming back with something that has grown. The Ace of Cups is also about vulnerability, about offering your heart without knowing exactly what will happen. I feel like this person is preparing to do exactly that, to offer something real, and to stop holding it back. What changes is everything, honestly, because the Ace of Cups does not show up for small shifts. This card shows up when something genuinely new is beginning, and I feel like that is what is on the horizon here. The Knight of Cups, the Chariot, the Six of Cups, and the Ace of Cups together are telling one very clear story. This person is done being stuck, they are done being quiet, and they are moving towards you with everything they have. Now let's go deeper and see what is underneath this. because this part I feel like is the most intimate part of this entire reading. We are going into what they have never said out loud, what lives underneath the message, what they carry in secret. This is the hidden confession layer, and I feel like the cards are about to get very specific. Here is the first card, and I am getting the moon for this hidden energy. The moon is the card of the subconscious, of everything that lives below the surface, of what is real but unseen. I feel like this card is sitting right on top of everything this person has been holding back. There is so much they have not said, so much they have swallowed down, and the moon is pulling all of it up. The first hidden truth I feel coming through is that this person misses you in a way that actually frightens them. Not a casual missing, not a passing thought, but a depth of longing that they did not expect to feel so strongly. They did not think it would stay this intense. They thought time would quiet it, and it has done the opposite. I feel like that confession alone is something they have never let themselves fully admit, even in private. The moon is also showing a confusion they carry, a dissonance between what they are doing and what they actually want. That gap, I feel like, has been weighing on them more than they have ever let on. And the cards are confirming that. Here is the next card, and I am seeing the Lovers come through for this hidden confession energy. The Lovers, I feel like, is one of the most layered cards in the deck when it shows up in a reading like this. This is not just about romantic feeling. This card is about a choice and about what your heart is genuinely calling you toward. The hidden confession here is that this person has already made their choice. They just have not acted on it yet. In their heart, I feel like they chose you, and they chose you a long time ago, and everything since then has just been delay. The Lovers is also showing us the physical dimension of what they feel, and I want to be honest about that. There is a physical pull here, a desire, a want that is tied to you specifically and has not transferred anywhere else. I feel like that is one of the things they have never said, the depth of the physical longing, how present it actually is. It is not just emotional, it is in their body too. And the Lovers here is confirming that without any hesitation, when they said, "You do something to me no one else can match." That is the full picture, emotional and physical, all at once. I feel like they have never been able to replicate what they feel in your presence, and that haunts them quietly. Here is the next card, and I am pulling Strength for this part of the reading. Strength is a card of inner fire, of a quiet but powerful energy of passion held with both hands. I feel like this card is showing the emotional truth that sits deepest in this person, the one they protect the most. The hidden confession of the Strength card is that this person feels something for you that they consider to be rare. Because when you know something is rare, the stakes feel enormous and the fear of losing it becomes very real. Strength is also showing a desire to be fully seen, to be received, to be met by you in the way only you can meet them. I feel like that vulnerability, that desire to just be honest and held, is the deepest thing they have never said. Here's the last card, and I am getting the Ten of Cups for this layer. The Ten of Cups is the card of emotional fulfillment, of the picture of happiness, of what the heart secretly dreams of. I feel like this is the confession that underpins all the others, the one that explains why this message exists. This person, when they picture what a truly happy life looks like, I feel like you are in that picture. Not as a memory, not as a what if, but as a genuine vision of what they actually want their life to look like. The Ten of Cups shows arms raised, a rainbow overhead, a scene of wholeness and warmth and deep belonging. I feel like this person sees a version of that with you, and it is a vision they have been quietly carrying for a long time. What they have never said, the thing they could not put into words, is that you represent something they thought they had. Not just love, not just connection, but the version of life that actually feels like it is worth showing up for. I feel like that is the deepest truth in this reading, and the Ten of Cups is the card that carries it. They are not just missing a relationship, they are missing the feeling of being fully alive, and you are tied to that. The Moon, the Lovers, Strength, and the Ten of Cups are all pointing at one thing. This person loves you. I feel like in a way that has changed the shape of what love means to them. Let's continue and see what the cards are showing. Because we are in the final stretch now, and I feel like this part is going to land in a really meaningful way. We are looking at what is coming, what the advice is, and where this whole story is headed for you. Here is the first card in this closing energy, and I am getting Judgment for this near future. Judgment is one of those cards that I feel like always arrives at exactly the right moment in a reading. This is a card of awakening, of a call that cannot be ignored, of rising into something new and more aligned. I feel like Judgment here is showing us that this situation is approaching a moment of reckoning, a point of no return. Both of you, I feel like, are being called towards something that is bigger than the hesitation that has been running things. Judgment does not show up for small shifts. This card shows up when something is about to change at a foundational level. The near future energy here is one of things becoming clear, of decisions being made, of the fog finally lifting, I feel like, for them. That means the moment they stop waiting and start acting is closer than it has been. For you, that means a moment of truth is approaching, something that is going to ask you how you really feel. I feel like this card is also saying that something that was dormant is about to fully awaken, and it is going to feel significant. Here is the next card, and I am seeing the Four of Wands come through for this reading. The Four of Wands is a card of celebration, of homecoming, of coming back to a place that feels like it was always meant to be. I feel like this card is one of the warmest confirmations I have seen in this spread, and it landed in the right place. The Four of Wands is showing a reunion energy, a coming together, a moment where something that was apart finds its way back. I feel like the near future for you is not as far away as it might feel right now. And this card is the reason why. There is a celebration energy here, not just reunion, but the joy that comes with realizing what you have been to each other. I feel like the Four of Wands is a card that rewards people who stayed true to what they felt, and that is you. This card is also advice in itself, and the advice is to leave the door open, to not close off what could still come through. Here is the next card, and I am getting the Sunday for this outcome energy. The Sunday is the most unambiguously hopeful card in the tarot, and I feel like it landed here with real intention. This card is about warmth, about clarity, about things working out in a way that makes you feel genuinely alive. The outcome energy here, I feel like, is one of happiness returning, of things aligning in a way that feels right. The Sunday does not promise perfection, but it does promise light. And I feel like that light is heading your way. I feel like what this card is saying is that the outcome of this situation has a brightness to it that is real. This is not a consolation card. This is not a maybe the Sunday is one of the clearest yes cards in the deck. There is joy ahead, there is warmth ahead, and I feel like the version of this story that ends well is very much on the table. Here is the final card, and I am pulling the High Priestess to close this reading out. The High Priestess is a card of divine knowing, of trusting what you feel, of honoring the wisdom that already lives inside you. I feel like this card is speaking to you directly in the closing, and the message it carries is a really important one. You already know what you feel about this person. You already know what this is. And the High Priestess is saying, honor that. Do not talk yourself out of what your intuition has been telling you. Do not shrink from the truth of what you know. I feel like the advice of this card is to stay in your power, to stay grounded, and to let what is real guide you. The High Priestess also sits between two pillars, between two worlds. And I feel like that is where you are right now. You are standing between what was and what could be. And this card is saying, trust yourself to walk forward with clarity. The message of this reading, I am not happy here, and you do something to me no one else can match, is real. Both of those things are true. The cards have confirmed it from every angle. And I feel like you already knew that what is ahead, I feel like, is the beginning of something honest, something aligned, something that finally feels right. Judgment calls things forward. The Four of Wands celebrates the return, the Sunday lights the way, and the High Priestess says, trust it. That is where this is going, and I feel like you can breathe a little easier knowing the cards are with you on this. I hope this reading found you. I hope it gave you something to hold on to. And so yeah, take care of yourself. Because we are in the final stretch now, and I feel like this part is going to land in a really meaningful way. We are looking at what is coming, what the advice is, and where this whole story is headed for you. Here is the first card in this closing energy, and I am getting Judgment for this near future. Judgment is one of those cards that I feel like always arrives at exactly the right moment in a reading. This is a card of awakening, of a call that cannot be ignored, of rising into something new and more aligned. I feel like Judgment here is showing us that this situation is approaching a moment of reckoning, a point of no return. Both of you, I feel like, are being called towards something that is bigger than the hesitation that has been running things. Judgment does not show up for small shifts. This card shows up when something is about to change at a foundational level. The near future energy here is one